The Romans first came to Spain in 206 BC. They stayed for the next 700 years, influencing everything from culture to politics to fashion. Interesting things about Spain and basically all countries that have a Spanish heritage, for me, is that there's walls everywhere. And walls obviously serve a variety of purposes. One thing that walls are great at is for protection. So castles, of course, have walls. But walls also do something else for people that have private residences with large walls. So you walk down the street and you see nothing but walls. You don't know what's inside. So there's sort of a level of secrecy. And then when you open the door to someone's house, you immediately go into this new world. And sometimes the world has rooms, sometimes it has a courtyard, other beautiful things, and the mystery is revealed. In Spain, eating is a critical part of what you do every single day. Dinner is still served generally between 8:30 and 10:30 at night. But at lunch, which is served generally between 1 and 3 to 4 p.m., you can have plate of the day, menú del día. Plate of the day usually consists of 2 different plates, a first and a second plate, and a dessert. You get all 3 of them for one fixed price. Sometimes drinks are included, sometimes drinks are optional. But as you can see behind me, eating is part of the culture of Spain, and it's something everyone enjoys doing. Alright, so now we're going to have a demonstration of how to close and then open these shades that are virtually on every window, as far as I can see, in Spain. And they close with this strap, and you start to pull the strap and it just closes. It provides both a sound barrier and, as we'll see, a light barrier. So if we turn out our indoor lights, when you have this completely closed, the room gets extremely dark. And then you can open them, and we still have actually one window that's completely open, so you can see that it can be almost like complete pitch dark in the middle of the day. And then you again pull them to open them up. A little bit of a challenge. And let the daylight back in. So, interesting, interesting, interesting. I'm standing in Granada, Spain. The province of Granada is where the oldest civilizations of humankind lived hundreds of thousands of years ago. Granada itself is famous for many historical events, and most tourists come here and start with the famous Alhambra. As we'll see in these videos, the Alhambra is indeed amazing, but it shouldn't be the last stop when you come to Granada. Okay, this is Guadix, the old fort street, an area close to the plaza.
Pasen por todo, lo vean todo, hagan fotos y pregunten todo lo que quieran. Pasen por todo.
Right.
Pasen por todo y lo vean todo.
Fascinating.
¿Estos son para comer?
Para vender.
Ajá, sí, sí.
Miel, primer premio de Andalucía, muy
A ver,
bueno.
¿sí?
Miel de lavanda, miel de eucalipto, romero, bosque, muy bueno.
What room is this one?
The basket weaving room.
Basket weaving. That makes sense. There's a lot of baskets. Was this entire thing just for one family?
No. One family lived in the living quarters over there. That was for the family.
Well, who lived here in the basket area?
Oh, maybe they had separate rooms for basket weaving.
My name is not Rick Steves, but I am in Cordoba, España. This is a beautiful place in the heart of Andalusia, famous for many things, including the Moorish building known as the Mezquita. Let's take a look. One of the great pleasures of coming to Spain is getting out into the countryside to explore the trails, or senderos. Now, I'm actually on a dirt road, but very often the dirt roads lead to these incredible trails that weave their ways through the mountains, over rivers, and across amazing bridges with scenes of nature and rocks and little villages in the distance. Let's take a look. I'm standing here in Madrid in front of the Prado, perhaps the most famous museum in the world. famous for a good reason. It contains a collection of some of the greatest artists of all time through all centuries. What's a little ironic is that many of these famous artists, such as Picasso and Dali, in the early 20th century, were people that said the only thing that museums have is works of dead artists. And of course now, they're also famous dead artists.